Good day, gentlemen. It is I, Pdaaaawg. And before we begin, I would like to take a bow to our victim, Caterpillar Cody, who will be destroyed in this tutorial. Anyway, what's up guys? Pdaaaawg here. That's so flippin' unoriginal. What's up guys? I'll just say hey, Pdaaaawg, yo, what's up? And we're here with Dudley, and I'm gonna show you some nasty tricks and tips with him. As some of you have been knowing, I've been playing Dudley for quite a bit now, for about 2 weeks. So I've learned a couple of crazy stuff with him, which hopefully I can show in this tutorial, and hopefully you'll be satisfied. If you're looking for flipping, amazing advanced tutorials on how to do flipping amazing combos, and you've come to the wrong place. This is only just, you should already know stuff like, his basic combos, and you should already know this type of stuff. So this is just, to add to your little arsenal of Dudleyness. So I wish I had Kid Mischief to do the English voice, but anyway, so we've got Dudley in his alternate 2 color 10, and these are some pretty interesting tips I've learned over the past couple of weeks, or well, 2 weeks, or the past couple of days more like. So first of all, the main reason why, the majority of you know that is Dudley's bread and butter, okay? But some of you might also notice that some Dudley players do this instead. Now obviously this timing is a lot harder than that, but the reason why they would do that, I believe, is because a meaty crouching light kick beats throws, or at least what I know. Whereas if you do a meaty crouching jab, it won't beat a throw, or at least it's not as likely to beat a throw, and then you just get thrown straight out of it. So a lot of Dudley players would tend to do this, at least in higher level play, because they don't want to get thrown out of their combo, obviously. Now, other stuff, if you hit them with like a focus attack, obviously you're going to want to, a lot of people probably go with this combo, and whatever you want after that. But actually, I didn't even know this as well, but alright, so you seen that damage was 231, okay, now watch this. No, well even then, I didn't even do the X machine gun blow, and look how much damage I added to it. So if you do a forward medium kick, this, a lot of Dudley players don't actually realise this, which I find pretty shocking, but this is an amazing frame trap because it catches throws, so you can pretty much just do stuff like this all day, and if it does hit, go straight into this. And then there you go, like instantly you've already given, look how much damage it done in comparison to that, look at that, that's 50 extra damage, and this actually is 100 damage, which actually is more than a standing round now. So obviously you definitely want to use this in your arsenal. The timing is a little bit tricky to begin with, but once you nail that combo, you're gonna get so much more damage from your offense and stuff. So that's another really good tip that you want to use. So rather than just doing overhead or crouching, by the way, that's unsafe on block, as is this. So if you want to make it safe, you have to do the target combo. That's just a little pointer there. So it'd be much better if you could, like, if you're gonna walk up through this, and also using duck as well. So you could, do all kinds of crazy mix-ups like that. And then obviously you can throw straight afterwards, like that. You're at the perfect range to throw, and it's just all around absolutely insane normal. So obviously abuse that as much as you can, pretty much. Treat it like flipping, the Ryu forward fierce or something like that. That's an awful example, but something like that there. Now, also what you want to do, I also noticed in terms of combo ability, a lot of people would go, if you've got no meter, a lot of Dudley players would do this. I don't really like this, to be honest, because number 1, it doesn't provide a knockdown. Number 2, I don't think it does much damage. And number 3, obviously you don't have this, so if you do, you've already got like 100 extra damage. But I would much rather prefer if you done this. Because number 1, look, it done about 30 more damage, and it gets you a knockdown, so at least you can actually start some pressure where crouching shorts instead of crouching jabs. But also, if you do that, that does so much more damage. Look at that. That's 308 from this one, focus attack. You can hit him with like, got no meter. 312, easy. Like, that is a pretty crazy. That's quite a lot of damage for like a meterless, like 4-hit combo. That's pretty crazy, especially for Dudley. But obviously, if you do have meter, you want to go for the EX and machine gun blow. But yeah, that's what I would always do if you're hitting with a focus. Like obviously, if you miss it, look, I mean, you're pretty unsafe on block. So if you're not really confident, you could avoid this to begin with, and then once you finally master the timing of this, then obviously put it into your game. Another thing you want to do is overhead. It's another crazy tool you can use, because number one, it's pretty quick. Number two, it hits pretty deep and it does pretty good damage as A, which is the equivalent of, you know, standing roundhouse. And number three, you can combo afterwards, which makes it even more scary. So you can combo with either crouching jab or standing jab. But a lot of people would much rather go for crouching jab because, you know, it hits a lot better, and sometimes with counters the standing jab might whiff. So if you do hit them with that, go straight into a combo. There you go. Easy. So you obviously, if you knock someone down, you want to mix up with crouching short, forward medium kick, into your like block strings and stuff, and ducks, and overhead. And also another one which is kind of underrated is the sweep. Now this is kind of unsafe on block, but if you've got your opponent terrified of doing overheads all the time and, you know, comboing afterwards, they'll end up standing up, and then if you miss it, turret combo. But then if you do get your opponent scared to do that, and obviously the best thing to do is hit them low. So you want to go for the sweep. You can go for crouching medium kick, really, what's the point in that? I mean, you're not going to get anything from it. Whereas if you do this, you can get a lot more stuff off it. You know, you can get that off it, you can go even more insane. Well, you know I'm going with this. Yeah, but, you know, you can combo, you know, a lot, like if you're out of the corner. But actually, if you're in the corner, you can actually combo straight into the ultra as well. Like if you, yeah, I don't know, I'm just messing about here. Like, I don't really know all of Dudley's, you know, complete mix-up potential, so, you know, it's really, you have to really adapt to where the opponent is. For example, if you're here, obviously you don't want to do two crouching jabs, you want to do one, and then go straight into it like that. Oh, I also see a lot of Dudley players do this, like in the corner. I don't understand why you would do that, because number one, obviously, crouching sweep does a lot more damage. Number two, you can actually combo afterwards, I'll get to you in a wee second. And it's just all round, it looks pretty ugly, and it kind of puts you at a bad advantage. Because if you do this, and you know, you can duck or build some meter. Like, I'll just show you. There you go, you get at least one free uppercut. If he quick stances, you're going to get one. If he like stands, if he like, just stays down, you get about 2 or 3. So obviously you definitely want to go for the crouching sweep instead. Like I just said there now, you can also combo afterwards. Like that. Now there's like obviously that's 1 meter, so you might not want to use it because, you know, Ace Machine Gun Blow and Super are both really good. But I mean, just for a little extra damage, it might help, and also you can still combo into the ultra. Like that. Boom, boom, boom. Well, it hit more. I just timed it. But yeah, it's a little extra thing that you might want to throw in there the occasional time. Also with overhead as well, I forgot to mention, if you do have super, the combos. So if you do hit successful overhead, be sure to go straight into the super, because then 430 damage, you definitely don't want to miss out on that. You know, it's some really good, it's a really good way of hit confirming the super, rather than, you know, doing, I think, you know, doing all kinds of like crazy combos. Like I remember I done that once in like a Zangief player, someone was pretty crazy. But also another thing is, a lot of people think that, oh, if you want to hit the uppercut or the ultra from an uppercut, you have to FADC from it, and what, really? I can't even do that? Yeah, like that. Like, but no, you don't actually have to do that. If you're close enough to the opponent, you don't even need to. There you go. Exact same amount of damage, I think. So obviously, if you really want to, like, it's much better to, like, you know, conserve your meter. So if you do hit them like that, then I do think though you can only do it with. Can you? Yeah, as you can see, you can only do like just a raw uppercut. You can't do anything afterwards. So you definitely want to you know, just keep it simple. And after all, I'd much rather have, you know, just doing a plain uppercut into ultra rather than, you know, doing standing roundhouse uppercut. If I can even do it, you know, like that. And also you get really crazy stuff like that, which really doesn't make much sense. So that's pretty interesting stuff. You've also got the victory roads, which really, you know, what's the point in that? But it actually does have a point, because if the opponent's trying to jump in on you, then you might as well just go for it. With the introduction of the EX duck, you can do a lot more crazy combos now. For example, if you do, you know, EX machine gun blow, It's a much better way. You know, originally you had to do this, which a lot of people had a lot of difficulty with. Well, now you can just, you know, go straight into EX ducking punch, and it does the exact same thing. So you definitely want to go with that there when I can't even speak, when when you want to hit the ultra, because like that, boom, 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 boom. Obviously ducking is the best way to get in on someone. For example, if you do hit them with like a jumbo and if you forget a duck, there you go, you're straight in again. And then you can go straight into your mix-up pressure of, you know, crouching short, overhead, sweep, and then go with this here, you know, in between moves. So the super, like I was talking about, is a really great way. There's a lot of ways to go straight into the super. Like, that's my favourite way of doing it there now, as you can see. Lots of damage in that. You can also do, you can super cancel off that, but I mean, that kind of looks a bit ugly, and also you don't hit the full super unlike this where you do hit the full thing, because even though they're in the air, you know, it still does help. Other great ways you can combo into is this. No. Boom, boom, boom. Sorry, I was like mashing there for some weird reason. You can also do the upper one, but really, you know, it's all the same. And the final thing I want to show you, obviously you've got other little side things you can do. Like if you want to hit the ultra, you can do EX counter into ultra. But if you do want to hit the full animation of the ultra, if you hit them with a focus attack, obviously you can go straight into the ultra, okay? Now that's like mainly the only way that you can go straight into the ultra properly from because most of the time if you're going to hit ultra 2 you have to, you know, juggle it, or you have to, yeah, it has to be served as a juggle and you can't hit the full animation. But there is one final way you can hit the full animation of the ultra, but it will cost you 3 bars and it's pretty unnecessary, but it does a lot of damage, so I'll show you now. Okay, so Cody's sitting there, he might be poking or something, I don't know. Okay, yeah, I kind of spoiled it for you there, but oh my goodness. But you can combo into like quite a lot of stuff from there. Wow, really? Am I really this bad? Yeah, I'll take him to the other side. I'll duck my way to the other side. Alright, there we go. There, from there, boom, there you go, full animation. And this will do quite a lot of damage because, you know, it's like the full ultra and something else. There you go, 552 damage, or 532 damage. So that's the final thing I want to show. It's pretty, you know, unnecessary, but, you know, if you really want to, you can. Like, there's a lot of, you know, crazy stuff you can do. From the EX ducking upper, you can actually, you know, combo from like, you can do stuff like that there, which, you know, it's kind of unnecessary because, I mean, like, you don't really want to burn a meter for that, but at the same time, you know, doing the follow-up from the crouching roundhouse is kind of unnecessary as well. Sorry that I'm rambling, by the way, because like I always do, I never really write anything down. This is off from the top of my head. So just remember what I was talking about. Mix up with overhead, sweep, crouching short. Use this during your block strings. If you're going to hit the ultra, make sure that don't use any meter for it. Just go straight into that for, you know, the pretty much the exact same damage. Use your EX ducking moves a lot. And like use it a lot more frequently for, you know, extra damage or something. Like if you do want to hit them after a juggle, like for example if you do hit them with like, you can do stuff like that there and then you can go into the ultra. So if you really want to use stuff like that there, that's fine. Ultra is really useful because you can juggle it from a lot of stuff. If you hit them the overhead, follow up afterwards. If you hit them the overhead, try and do it into super. Like Dudley can punish a lot of stuff like machine gun blows, but I'm not going to go over all of it because there's some pretty good videos. And my favourites is a video on you know, a load of punishes you can do against certain characters with Dudley. I highly recommend checking out. That video is really good. And that's pretty much it. And the final, you know, the final gimmick is you can actually hit the full ultra animation from an EX. What's it called again? Short swing blow, FADC and ultra. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed this. Sorry for my poop execution on some of the stuff there. And sorry for kind of rambling a little bit. But I hope the kind of message has been put across. And from me and from Mr. Diddles, we bow our heads to my subscribers. And I'll have to see you guys next time.